All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Happy, what's today, Alex? Wednesday? No, Tuesday. I'm off, man. Hey, we're starting this new podcast. It's a brand new podcast that we're actually calling The Evolution of Real Estate. It's something that we'll explain. First of all, I invited one of my preferred lenders, which his name is Alex Vasquez from VIP Mortgage, which we're going to talk about what real estate is right now and what it was back then.
So different now, Ivan. It's so different. I remember when you and I started qualifying clients, and that seems to be years ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. And the way to buy a house now is completely different, right? Phoenix and the Arizona market is different. It's almost like you don't even remember what it was before 8% interest rates and before an average median price of $400,000. Do you remember homes for $25,000 not too long ago?
Yeah, man, that was the dream, bro. That was a dream. It's
we
a
just
unicorn.
just didn't know it was a dream at the time.
Yeah, we didn't take it quite the advantage we should have done back then, but it's okay.
It's all right.
But like I was saying, we're starting this new podcast, and I want to start off by saying my name's Ivan Rivas. I'm with eXp Realty, and I have a team called the Rivas team. And I have Alex from VIP Mortgage that he's going to go over all this information we're going to talk about today. So I'm excited to have you here. And I just want to talk to you or start off with, like, how did we meet, Alex? I think that's where we need to start off first. This is a conversation of how did you meet? Because we've been working with families for a long time already, but I think we started a beautiful relationship. Where do you remember where we started at?
Yeah, at the time, I was a bit new to the industry, and I was going down and trying to connect with movers and shakers in the industry. And Ivan was one of those movers and shakers in the industry. And I was trying to think, how can I get Ivan's attention? He's a very popular guy. A lot of people know him, whether from real estate or from his club promoting days. So he's very popular. How do I connect with Ivan? How do I draw his attention? And so I thought of an idea. I got a shot glass, and I put my logo on the shot glass, and I mailed it to his office. And in the shot glass, I put a little note, and it said, "Give me a shot." And apparently Ivan found it creative, and he reached out and we met up. I remember meeting with Ivan and his wife. They invited me into their office out in the West Valley, and it was a formal interview. And I've done plenty of interviews in my life, but your wife, she got into me. She was digging in. And if you don't know Ivan's wife, she's the sweetest, nicest. She's so nice. But in that interview,
She was right on spot, right?
she was digging in, man.
I was like, damn, when she was speaking to you. That's why you got to bring the wife in this situation so they have that gut feeling of who we're dealing with.
Listen, if the wife approves, you're good to go.
We're good. So yeah, man, I remember that moment that you sent me that chocolate. But previously, you had to send me some other stuff like cards and stuff just so we can meet up. And
nothing was working.
Nothing was working, but that shot just got me, man. And I'm like, you know what? Let's give this guy a shot. Let's see what's up. But after that, it's been history, man. And I think taking the leap of faith of working with you has been amazing, man. And I think it's not funny, but it's how God put people in your way that's going to change your life. And you were one of them. And I just don't see you as a lender, but I see you as a friend, family. Yeah. And we've helped hundreds of families already together.
We have.
And I'm still looking for the future to close even more, just because the value you do, the thing is how you explain to the clients, which is very important. And it's something I've always told my wife that there's few lenders that can do that. And you just how explain to a client what they need to do to buy a house. It's so important, man, just to understand the process, because it's one of the biggest assets in their financial portfolio. So they need to understand what they need to do step by step. And I just want to say thank you for that, Alex. I really appreciate that, your friendship and your business, man.
Yeah, no, likewise. We've had great times, right? Yeah. Outside of real estate. Yeah. We've spent some time together. Our families are now connected as well. It's been truly a blessing to get to work together. And you're right, a lot of our clients are those first-time home buyers. Yeah. People that have never bought homes before. Maybe their parents bought a home in the past. Maybe they're first generation and they have no experience or exposure to buying a house. Mm-hmm. So when we get to have these conversations with them, they just don't know what to expect. They don't know the first step. And the reason we named this podcast The Evolution of Real Estate is because the way you buy a home has changed.
Of course.
If you remember when we first started doing this, we were meeting in person, face to face in my office. Mm-hmm. People were bringing in boxes of paper. Yes. Right. I had to scan every tax return, every pay stub, and then they'd walk out with an approval and they were good to go. And then slowly we were already migrating towards more of a digital platform, and then COVID accelerated that.
Correct.
Where we didn't really meet face to face with clients.
It was hard. It was hard.
Very hard. And people were scared too, right? Yeah. They were scared for their health, especially if they were immunocompromised. That kind of changed. We went away from the face-to-face meetings and more of that virtual over the phone. And you just can't learn the process over the phone.
Yeah, of course not.
And I think if you poll our clients, if you ask them, those that met with us, what was the number one thing that led them to buy a house? I think it's how comfortable they felt with the knowledge that you and I gave them.
Of course. Yeah, and that's very important, man, especially when we met them in person.
Right.
First of all, I like meeting the people in person because they feel comfortable. They know who they're dealing with. And you explaining the process, how it needs to be. It was just a great experience all around.
Right. Yeah, so, buying a house isn't going on Amazon and clicking a couple buttons and then it arrives at your front door, right? Like, it's not that simple, and yet the industry is trying to make it that way. But you still need to equip yourself, right? Because think about it. How hard is it to get rid of a home once you buy it? There's a whole process. You can't just return it.
No, you can't.
Right? It's not like buying something from Amazon and you just go and return it. Like, you can't just return a house. And so you need to make sure that you got the best loan that you possibly could, that you understand the new responsibilities of becoming a homeowner, and that you were financially prepared to take on that challenge.
Yeah, man. It's super important, this first step. And it's funny because I get people like, hey, I want to go see this house. And it happened to me recently again. It's happened to me multiple times, but it's just funny because people are like, hey, I like this house I seen in Zillow. Can you take me to go see it? And when I see it, the price I seen, it was like $600,000. I'm like, ma'am, do you qualify for this? Are you qualified? No, but I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I like it too. But at the end of the day, I think the first step we need to do is getting qualified, which is very important. Getting qualifying to see where you're at as a buyer, which is important, to see the amount you qualify for. Yeah. And based off the information that you review as a lender, like W-2, taxes, work history, all that good stuff, so we can figure out where you're at. Because then I'm doing a disservice if I don't educate you. And that's why we're here as professionals, as a lender and a realtor, to educate our clients, to make the biggest, like I said, to buy this biggest asset and understand what they're doing. So very important, Alex.
It's hugely important, and I can't tell you how unprepared people can be and how many mistakes they can make along the way.
Of course.
If they're not prepared. But here's the awesome thing about real estate too. I know this for myself, at least. When I try to do something or want to do something or want to buy something, we all do this now with the internet. We research everything and anything about it, right? We try to become the experts. And when you buy a home, it doesn't matter how much research you do and how much you read up on the subject, you will not be an expert, right? On average, it takes over 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. There's no way that if you're buying a home, you will become an expert.
Overnight.
And so, overnight. It's just not going to happen.
It's not.
And we live in this instant gratification society where we want to immediately know everything about anything. And unfortunately, real estate is not that. And if you try to do that, you will make a lot of mistakes. And these mistakes are very costly, and we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. So the nice thing about buying real estate is if you get a team, right, you reach out to Ivan. Ivan is the quarterback. He's the real estate agent. He will then build a team around you, right? He'll get the lender. He'll go get the title company. We'll get the appraiser. We'll get the home inspector. We get the insurance agent. All of those people around you are the experts. And so you are in command. You make those decisions as the home buyer, but you don't have to be the expert. You just have to hire experts, and they will guide you and will teach you how to buy that house.
Correct. I'm actually reading a book that's called Who, Not How. Okay. You always have to hire your who's, because that's the who's are going to get you to the next levels. So work your who's. They're going to help you buy that home or sell your home to get you to a position to own or sell a home. So important. I recommend that book, Who, Not How, man. So
Who, Not How. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good book, man.
Man, Ivan, you've come a long way.
Man.
You used to recommend me drinks, and now you're recommending me books.
Oh, man. It's funny, but I've been doing a lot of, and you've noticed I've done a lot of mentoring, spiritual work, and all this stuff that I think
it's good to see the growth. Yeah, the growth has been amazing to see.
Me reading books, bro, like back in the day in high school, bro, I paid people to do my homework, bro. It was that bad. And me reading a full book I think I just started reading my first book like 2 years ago, man. And I've been reading some amazing books. I've been following great people, and just elevating my mindset, I think, which is important, man, for sure. And not just for myself, but for my family, for my business, and educating clients, which is important.
The clients will demand that next level of you, right?
Of course.
They want the better version of yourself, because the better you are, the better equipped you are to help them.
Yeah, of course, man, because we don't want to stay in the old back in the day stuff and not doing anything with your life. So yeah, that's why we're here to expand in all the way. And you see my growth, and I seen your growth too. We have babies now, man. Like I went from 1 to 4 kids now, and now you have 1 too, so you need to catch up, bro.
I don't know about 4. One is hard enough. Honestly, becoming a dad has been a blessing and a challenge, as you well know, right? Sleep is tough. Yeah, you no longer control your time, your money. They take everything from you. But it's a true blessing, honestly. We're very happy to have.
Yeah, very, very blessed. And that's why I got to work hard. I have to sell houses. I got to educate people to buy houses correctly.
That's right.
So that's why we're here to educate.
You have a lot of diapers to buy.
Yeah, a lot of diapers to buy, my man. But yeah, dude, going back to helping clients, man, educating is important. And because there's a few steps what you need to do with your down payment, closing cost. How much is that for a typical buyer that, hey, you know what, I want to buy a house. How much down payment, how much closing cost do I need? Is that something we can go over?
Yeah, here's the thing. There are certain guidelines, right, that stipulate the down payment requirements, right? So you've got an FHA loan, a conventional loan, VA loan, USDA loan. There's so many different types of loans, right? And every type of loan has a different guideline when it comes to the minimum down payment.
Correct.
And then there's down payment assistance programs that can couple with those loans to effectively wipe out the down payment requirement. So the down payment can be as low as 0 under the right circumstances, and then there's no limit to what down payment you can use. I have a client right now that's relocating from Iowa. They're buying a $500,000 home, and they're putting $300,000 down. Right, $300,000 is not the required down payment. They just sold a home in Iowa, and now they're moving here, so their loan amount is $200,000. Right?
Yeah, so they can have that small payment. So
exactly. So and then you have the other spectrum of that, which is I make good income. I don't have a lot of debt, but I don't have a lot of savings either. And so then maybe for those individuals, a program that helps reduce the down payment is there. But what I will say, after thousands of transactions, and this is the oddest part of our job, is we've done thousands of transactions, yet not one transaction is the same as the other. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So it could be an FHA loan and an FHA loan, conventional, 2 different buyers, completely different scenarios. And that's why I'm saying that we need to meet with these clients before they engage in buying a home, because we need to prepare them differently than someone else. Even though they use the same loan, their situations, their circumstances are completely different.
Yeah, and let me go back to that. And it's important for us to meet because, like you mentioned, it's the 2 different people. Every situation is different. I get a lot saying that, hey, I want to have the same thing as my uncle, my tia, mi tío, el perro, everything, you know what I'm saying? So it just, I wish I can get you the same situation, but your situation is different. So meeting with us so we can see your situation, your finances, and everything.
Here's the thing, Ivan. It's not just their situation. Think about that. Yes, the situation is also different. But what about the timing, right?
Correct.
If they're buying a house in 2023, 2024, and let's say they have the same job as their friend, they have the same income, same savings, same everything, but they're just buying in a different period of time. What if their friend bought in 2018, 2019?
The price is like 100K difference from
and
like
the
a year
interest
ago.
rate is less than half.
Of course.
So the situation is different too.
Yeah. Payments when you buy is different. Yeah, like some lady called me yesterday, as a matter of fact. I'm trying to get a $1,500 payment. I want a 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. Like if I can get like a 2-story for $1,500 payment, I'm like, man, it's because her cousin got that.
Listen, if I could get that, I would go get it right now too.
Yeah, it's something that we just have to educate so they can know. 'Cause sometimes they don't know. They didn't know any better. So
Indeed.
I just go over this information with them and just see where they're at and just explain their down payment. Which I have funny scenarios too. Like especially our people, they tend to have money under the couch, under the bed, knowing how to put that money in the account, which you tell them what they need to do or how they can get that money, the gifts, because people sometimes they're scared to have money in the account for their down payment and they have it abajo de la cama, under the couch, and you can't source those funds. Yeah, we can go over that too as well.
Yeah, no, it's challenging. I'm sure we can make an entire series of things not to do and things that we have seen from thousands of transactions. Some really big key ones is really, before I say that, let me say this. When you meet with Ivan and I, right, be as honest and as open as possible. I'm not the IRS. I'm not the police. I just want to know what's going on. That way I can tell you if we can address it before you actually go through the process, right? And so what I mean by that is there's seasoning requirements for money, right? Yeah. And if that money isn't in the bank account, we can't use it, right? And so then the very first thought that clients have, okay, no problem. I'll go to the bank tomorrow and deposit that money. Now you guarantee that we can't use that money. So there's certain steps that we need to take when it comes to down payment money. Or we have clients who have multiple jobs. I had one client last week call and say, my employer pays me half of my paycheck in a pay stub and the other half in cash. What do we do there, right? So there's a fix for that. We have to go to the employer and have them now pay the full income W-2. We can't have any cash money because he's not reporting the cash money. So those are the types of things that I'm saying. Or we live in the gig economy right now where most people have a side hustle, right? Is that side hustle eligible? Can we use it towards your income for your qualification? I don't know. We need to meet and see how you're using and reporting that income. So there are just so many different examples because we're all different and we all have different circumstances.
Yeah. We're going to keep saying it. Call us so we can just go over all the information with you guys so you can just further understand what's the steps. Also, I want to talk about a little bit about what do they expect by working with you? What else do they expect by working with you?
Well, working with me, see, I think I'm a little bit different than most lenders, right? A lot of us are numbers driven, right? Anyone that's in quote unquote sales is numbers driven, right? The more people I can meet, the more transactions I can close. And I'm a bit unique in the way that I have the satisfaction of my job comes from how well I can educate and equip somebody, right? So the most rewarding thing that I can do in my job is have somebody walk into my office with no knowledge of how to buy a house and walk out of my office feeling empowered to go out and buy a house, feeling like they're ready. And all it took was a bit of education, right? A couple of weeks ago, I had a young couple. One was a construction worker and the other was a middle school teacher. And ironic because she's a teacher, right? And so I was the one teaching them about real estate. And they, although they're professionals in their industry, they didn't know how to buy a house. They walked in scared. They walked in thinking they didn't qualify, that they weren't ready. They walked out of my office with a $450,000 approval. Nice. And they're under contract now to buy their very first home.
Nice, man.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the difference. And they were so thankful after that meeting. They're like, nobody is taking the time. We spent about an hour just educating them on the process. No, they were so thankful. Like, no one spent the time to teach us this. I didn't know any of this. I didn't think I was ready. And now they're going to have a home for the holidays.
Nice, man.
So that's what I mean. I really take a lot of pride and joy in educating.
Yeah, that's something that I personally know. Thank you for that, because every time we sit down with somebody, just go over their notes and their situation, I can see their eyes brighten up because they're learning, and how the way you explain it, they even you give them copies of the notes and they take it because you make it so easy, man, easy and effortlessly for them to understand and just walk out with, hey, I even some people like, hey, I think I want to be an agent or a lender just because how this guy explained it. That's another story, but I think that's a big proposition that we have for our clients. So thank you for that, man. I think we just need to keep doing the work for the people, helping out everybody and not leaving nobody behind. And also, if you don't qualify right now, Alex, especially your team, dude, the process that you give them, it could take weeks, months, years, depending on their situation. So can we touch a little bit about credit?
Yeah, of course. So and I think both you and I share the same outlook. Everybody qualifies. It's just a matter of time. Right? Everyone qualifies. It's just a matter of time. So you could walk into my office and you qualify that moment, like that teacher and the construction worker, or you may need to pay off some debt. And the question would be, what debt do I need to pay off? Because if you don't know, you're just going to start paying off debt, and you might pay off the wrong debt, or it might take you longer because you paid off that wrong debt, or the credit score isn't where it needs to be. So how do you fix that? If you try to fix it on your own, it might take you longer if you ever reach it. We have credit simulators that give us a step-by-step plan on how to achieve that target credit score quicker, fast, and cheaply as well. And so when you do have a consultation with David and I, there's going to be one of two outcomes. You're either walking out with an approval, or you're walking out with a game plan. And that game plan, it could be a matter of a couple of weeks to execute the game plan. It could be a couple of months. It could be a couple of years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
We've closed a couple that have taken 2 years just to, and you have a plan. Sometimes it could take months, but sometimes people take a couple of years. So yeah, we've been in this situation a couple of times, me and you.
Exactly. So we've had a lot of people that have been scared to reach out because they know they don't qualify. But the longer you take to actually call us, the longer you're extending how long it would take for you to qualify, right? So if it was going to take you 2 years and you didn't call us for 2 years, now it's going to take you 4, right? And so the sooner you call us, the sooner we can give you a game plan.
Yeah, man, that's so important. Like you said, people tend to disqualify themselves all the time. I don't qualify. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you don't qualify now, but like everybody qualifies in a different moment. And like we mentioned, it takes weeks, months, years, depending how fast you can do it. And we can definitely help you. So don't be that person to say, hey, I don't qualify. Everybody qualifies, but just in a different moment. But yeah, man, Alex, any last thoughts? Anything that we should add?
I can't think of a time, and when I say this, a time period, I can't think of a period in time where it's been more challenging to qualify for a home than right now, which means we have to think outside the box and get creative. And that could look like getting the seller to discount your interest rate, right? So using some of those seller credits to reduce the interest rate so your monthly payment is lower, so then you can more easily qualify or afford the home. So it could look like that. It could look like, hey, if I already own a home, is it better to rent that home, or is it better to sell it and then buy a new home? So those are some conversations. So it's never been, in my opinion, it's never been more challenging to buy a home than right now. And it won't slow down either. Arizona is growing. A lot of people want to live here. Construction everywhere. So home prices aren't going anywhere but up, right? So if it's getting more challenging to qualify, and if prices will continue rising, meaning that it will be even more challenging in the future, then right now is really the time to come up with that game plan. And so you need to work with somebody that has the experience to get you to the finish line. And it's also not just about getting to the finish line, it's getting to the finish line in a financially responsible way, right? We don't want to set you up for failure either.
No, that's great information, Alex. Yeah, just call us so we can get you educated for sure, especially in today's market. Give us a call for sure. Where can they find you, Alex?
They can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. Our logos will be here at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, perfect.
So you definitely reach out. We'd love to sit down and chat. And it doesn't have to be in my office. I've done appointments. It could be in their home. Tomorrow I have a home consultation with the client. They feel more comfortable if I come to them. That's great with me as well. We can go out for breakfast. Hey, if you make me breakfast,
yeah, I'll be there too.
I'll be there.
if he's not even my client, just take me so I can go eat breakfast, man.
Yeah, it can be very low pressure. It's just a conversation. Right?
Yeah,
just
conversation.
a conversation.
So yeah, guys, so give us a call so you can get educated. We have the right team to do it. Like we've been saying it throughout, just it's very important to educate yourself because like I said, it's one of the biggest assets that you'll ever have. So just making sure you're doing the right things and the right steps before you go mess up and do something that, or go with the wrong people that are not going to help you. Give us a call. Like I said, my name's Ivan Rivas. I'm with eXp Realty with the Rivas team. You'll find my contact number here down below. You'll have Alex's information here from VIP Mortgage and social media. Myself too, I have social media. I forgot to mention that, but it's at the Rivas team in any platform. So give us a call with any questions, concern. Yep. All right, awesome. Alex, thank you for joining us today on our first podcast. I'm excited. Yeah. Thank you.
Exactly.
We're looking for more.
Of course.
So let's get it.
All right.